Everyone is talking about the show Adolescence, and as a clinical psychologist who's worked in forensic settings with adolescents and adults, I thought I'd share my 2 cents. This is a great movie that shows us how social media can influence the behavior of young people. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched this yet. So this movie is 4 episodes and it's all shot in one take in each episode, and it shows the journey of whether this young person did in fact murder another student from his school. Now, throughout the episodes, you're a little bit confused, but the episode that really got me thinking was the one where he saw the psychologist and she was asking questions. Now, her reaction in that episode told me everything. She was obviously very uncomfortable. She had like a gut-wrenching experience. She was in tears, and I can imagine that was very difficult. When you are working with antisocial personalities or traits of, say, narcissism, this is what you feel. You feel a gut wrench in your stomach. It's almost as if a cyclone has come into the room and left you, and you feel bewildered as a psychologist. I worked in a youth remand center where young people were being held on remand until their court case for an alleged crime. And I've also worked in drug and alcohol counseling for registered male offenders. So these personality traits I've come across. And let me tell you, the feeling that psychologist felt in the room, I definitely can understand it. What's really interesting is a lot of these individuals have a trauma history. But what's confusing in this is that this kid comes from a decent family. They seem like a cohesive unit. So you wouldn't really expect he would be capable of the crime. The father even got questions as to whether he was sexually assaulting the son. The traits specifically I would have looked out for in those interviews: is there a lack of remorse? Is there a lack of empathy? There was emotional dysregulation. His body language was very dominant, very domineering. But the other thing you need to consider is his developmental level. Your frontal lobe doesn't develop until you're 25, so having outbursts and tantrums can be quite normal for that age, especially when you're being held in prison. Another clinical consideration is I would be looking at, are there potential neurodevelopmental issues going on? Does this kid have ADHD? Because ADHD can lead to impulsivity with behavior. And given the age, you can't really throw a personality disorder on someone such as an antisocial personality or a narcissistic personality. Although young people can start to show traits from a young age, and this can look more like a conduct disorder. What did you think of these series? Let me know in the comments.